Daisies. It's kind of annoying. I just ended that live stream. We're gonna have to title this part 2. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, I had 3 streamers too, or 3 people in there too. That was probably a freaking record. Whoops, my bad. Well, if you guys want to see a little updates and some TA on PI Coin for the day, you're gonna have to watch that last video. I just fucked up. I don't know how I ended that live stream. I'm kind of afraid to click in again. It might end it. So anyways, yeah, if you guys want to see that, you're gonna have to go to part 1. Sorry about that. We'll call this part 2 and part 1. Not really sure what happened there, but this, I guess, is gonna be nice. Nice little segue. The second part will just be more or less on the news for PI Coin on the day. If you missed it, sorry about that. If you guys were listening in the last space and I rugged ya, my bad. Please let me know if the volume's okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. We're going to go into the news now. Like I said, if you want to see that first part, it's going to be more technical analysis and just how the overall crypto market's doing. Now I'm actually going to do some PI Coin news. Some major stuff actually came out today. I'm going to be going over in this video. I'll read over an article. I'll try and skim over the unimportant parts. I read over it earlier and try and pull out. I think this article does a pretty good job of talking about important events and things coming up for the holidays, or for the holidays, for the PI Coin holidays. That's what Consensus 2025 feels like for Consensus 2025 for the next few days. Let's go ahead and get into it. Boom, off the bat, Pi Network preps for major reveal after shutting down Central Node. I've yet to verify this. Of course, guys, and this is financial advice. Please always do your own research. I'm just a dude giving you their 2 cents on the market, and I want to know your guys' opinions as well. So please drop some comments. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is just what I'm thinking, the articles and the news that I thought was relevant for PI Coin. Central Node shutting down. I think this is so bullish. This is crazy bullish off the rip. Let's go. The Pi Network core team has officially shut down its Central Node, marking a high-profile move towards decentralization. It comes after the network promised a major ecosystem announcement aligning with the Consensus 2025 event in Toronto, which starts today. They say, I'm just going to read over most of this article and give my thoughts. I think they do a pretty good job of pulling out the important stuff. I won't go over the price, though. They have that at the bottom. Pi Network's core team has reportedly shut down its Central Node, effectively taking a significant step towards decentralization. The network also announced plans to release its source code. Nice. The Pi core team has closed the Central Node, ready to release the source code. The Pi Network will definitely shake up the Consensus 2025 event. Pi Network Vietnamese shared on X, Twitter. We'll go ahead and pull that up. Let's check that out first. Boop. Pi Network Vietnamese. Pi core team has closed Central Node, ready to release the source code. Pi Network will definitely shake up the Consensus 2025 event. It's according to Pi Network Vietnamese. There's the post as shown there. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy, amazing. People always are talking about decentralization. There's a lot of different ways to decentralize a network. The nodes is one of them, definitely an important one of them. The move aligns with Pi Network's long-stated mission to transition from a centrally controlled project. It pushes toward a fully decentralized blockchain secured by its proprietary improved proof-of-stake consensus mechanism. As some of you guys know, it's based on Stellar. No more FUD about centralized scams or hidden logic. If there's a bug or backdoor, you will know. If the consensus model is secure, you will see it. This is credibility on the blockchain. Web3 researcher and Pi advocate Tanner explained. I'll probably take you to a hyperlink to there. Not going to click that. Thank you, Tanner. The planned release of the Pi Network source code could increase transparency and community trust. It definitely will. That's for sure. This is amidst longstanding concerns about the project's actual decentralization status. I'm glad that they did this. I'm really glad. You know, if you want to be a true successful decentralized project, company, whatever, you have to start off centralized to an extent. That's just how it works. Even Bitcoin itself, it wasn't written by 1,000 different people all around the world. It was written by a few people. It was developed by a few people. It became decentralized over time. That's how these things work. So I'm very glad about this, for sure. As long as it's true. I haven't really verified all of this except for, you know, the tweets from Pi Network Vietnamese. I don't know how accurate that count is, to be honest with you. But this is very bullish and seems legit. Pi Networks, according to me, Pi Networks' referral-based mining system and opaque governance structure leaves many questioning whether true decentralization is achievable. Critics have pointed to the network supernode architecture as a centralization risk. As Being Crypto reported, the Pi Core team still plays a dominant role in supernode selection. Fair. It also holds an estimated 82 billion Pi coins, raising red flags about the concentration of power. It's not really true. It's kind of split up, but anyways. Fair enough. I guess they are in control of those wallets, but it's geared for the community, stuff like that. Anyways, strategic timing as Consensus 2025 starts. There's a couple other important, I think, things that they pull out here, and then I'll move on to some of the stuff that is official from the team. Again, if you guys appreciate this type of content, please throw it a like. Thank you. I see somebody already threw one on this video. Thank you guys. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are in the world. A lot of bullish news despite the price dumping today. Who cares about the short-term 24 hours? Unless you're a trader, you got wrecked. Sorry to hear that. I still think personally the next 24 hours we could keep heading down. That's just what I think. I have no idea. And then hopefully on the last day when Nicholas actually talks, then we hit a boom, hit a nice little reset here real quick. We had 7 days in a row being up. What's good, Ronald? Appreciate all your support, bro. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, regardless of the price, we got some great news today. Just as a recap so far for you guys, the Pi Core team, apparently, I haven't been able to officially verify this. This is according to the Pi Network Vietnamese page. The Pi Network is shutting down one of their central nodes. And another thing that we've talked about so far, which is bullish in my opinion, is good for decentralization. And they're also opening up their source code. Here we go, to increase transparency, so everybody can edit and play with the source code. It's an open network, which is awesome. If this is true, bullish. I love to hear that personally. Take a shot every time I say that word. Might be drunk by the end of this run. Might be not alive, so maybe you shouldn't do that. The timing of these developments is not coincidental. In a May 8th post, Pi Network hinted at a major announcement likely to be formally revealed during Consensus 2025, which started today. The network has stoked anticipation, echoing a prospective big reveal in a Wednesday post, which we'll get into in a little bit. Amid Consensus 2025 euphoria, with Pi Network representatives in attendance, community members anticipate 3 events. Here we go. Here's what I didn't know. Beyond Wednesday's mysterious major ecosystem announcement, there's also something good/great to come Thursday, May 15th. Okay, everybody hold on to your hats for tomorrow. And a speech by Pi Network, Dr. Nicholas in Toronto. I'll make sure you guys are buckled up. I got your seatbelts locked on. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a crazy few days. We got 3 days, apparently back-to-back news. So May 14th, we got the announcement from the Pi ecosystem. I'll get into that in a second. I think it was one of the bullet points we just talked about. I want to read over this article here. We'll talk about it. Oh no, this actually isn't. Okay, this is major news from already the good news we've read so far is not even the good news that the official Pi Core team has announced. So if this is all true, and on top of this, that would be just even crazier. May 15th, so tomorrow is good/great news, whatever that means according to this. And then Dr. Nicholas himself will speak finally on May 16th. Indeed, given its heft as one of the blockchain's biggest stages, Consensus 2025 could offer Pi Network an opportunity to redefine its public perception. I couldn't agree more. Concerns linger over scam claims, its closed mainnet, and inaccessible coin transfers. Despite claims of decentralization, users in some regions remain limited by network restrictions. That's true. I mean, I'm limited as well, as well as other people. I feel you. It's kind of bullshit being an American citizen. Sometimes you get restricted from half the good stuff in crypto. I'm sure that's not who they're referring to, are Americans here. I'm sure it's other people in more difficult regions that may not have as much infrastructure set up. Access to features like Lightning still require VPN. This highlights lingering issues. I don't even know what that is, if I'm keeping it real with you. Does anybody know what Lightning is? Is that just sending from back and forth? This highlights lingering issues with accessibility and raises questions about how truly open the Pi ecosystem is. I think that that's a fair point to accessibility because that's one of their core tenets. However, I would say that it's no more or less accessible likely in these regions that experiences troubles than most other things in crypto already are. I'm sure, these areas isn't their first rodeo going through that, having to jump through hoops to get to other stuff on the internet. Anyways, meanwhile, other positive developments highlight updates to the Pi Networks mining app and Pi browser in a Play Store. Let's go, baby. Both the Pi Network mining app and the Pi browser app have new updates on the Play Store today, just before the mega announcement drops, a Pi community leader highlighted. Hey guys, is my audio coming through okay? Please drop some chats, Ronald, if you're there, not sure. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Got a lot of big news for the ecosystem today. Loving to hear it. Despite the price being down, I personally think it was probably a good thing it was down at least a day or two to cool off. We still got 3 days of exciting events. A lot has been dropped today. I didn't even get into most of the news yet. It's going to be a long video full of alpha, lots of good things. When it rains, it pours. We've been waiting for this stuff for a while in the ecosystem. Make sure, if you guys can hear me, please drop some comments real quick. I've been having some troubles with the audio relatively recently. Anyways, Pi may finally transition from a speculative mobile mining app into a legitimate layer 1 protocol by displaying real progress in decentralization and open development. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Shout out to this guy who also wrote this. Wow, let's get into the news that has been official. Okay, so recap of the article real quick. Central node shutting down for Pi Coin. That helps with decentralization. They're also making the source code open source so anybody can see it, play with it, whatever, build things on it. And there's also 2 more days full of good news. We're going to get into the first piece of real news that has been official. Then there's also 2 other days of something else going on. So a lot going on. Let's go ahead and get into what they officially announced. Let's fucking go. The meat and potatoes. This is what was actually announced. This was just today, May 14th, that the Pi Core team saying that they are launching Pi Network Ventures, investing $100 million. I hope that's US dollars. In innovative startups. That's freaking, yeah, here, held in Pi and USD. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. Let's read a little bit about it. Today marks a transformative moment for the Pi community. The Pi Foundation is thrilled to announce the official launch of Pi Network Ventures, a development initiative of $100 million held in Pi Coin and USD. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Which will strategically invest in startups and businesses, including those that advance the utility, adoption, and real-world impact of Pi. The Network Ventures is established through the Pi Foundation, an ownerless organization intended to steer the long-term development of the Pi ecosystem and help facilitate the sustainability and functionality of the network for the future. Let's break this down real quick. So Pi Network Ventures, they're established through the Pi Foundation, and the Pi Foundation themselves is an ownerless organization, according to them, intended to steer the long-term development of Pi. So they're here to, have some sort of guardrails or framework. No matter how decentralized a network is, it has to at least start off, like I said earlier, and usually in centralized ways. Even Bitcoin itself was a bunch of coders that got together and built it. It was centralized. It becomes more decentralized over time. Hopefully, anyways, that's the goal. Same thing with Pi Coin. So they have this Pi Foundation set up, and it looks like they're loading it up, cha-ching, with 100 M's, baby. Not so bad. Looks like they've been playing a lot of ads. What is that game that pops up every time? Elden Scroll or whatever? They must make so much money to be paying, like they're all over YouTube, Pi Coin, everywhere. Anyways. That's just crazy. Like, can we get a case study on them? That's just crazy. Anyways, all right, back to Pi Coin. The Pi Foundation has set up Pi Network Ventures, and their goal is to try and improve the network, essentially. The Pi earmark for the initiatives comes from the 10% of tokens that are specifically allocated for foundation reserves. Nice. More information on Pi supply tokenomics is available here. You guys can also watch my past video on the tokenomics where I read over it. This moment marks a pivotal step forward for Pi, especially now that Open Network has launched and external connectivity is enabled, opening the door for more impactful utility and real-world integration. Essentially just saying Yeah, they set up this foundation, load up with $100 million. It came from 10% that they had talked about allocating before towards the community. Here it is. 10% is $100 million apparently. So you are valuing this company at $1 billion. This is for Shark Tank. Opening the door to more impactful utility creation and real world integration. Cool. Pi Network Ventures represents a focused and strategic initiative to aid the transformation of Pi. Nice. The vision behind Pi Network Ventures. Here we go into more specifics. You guys may want to skip ahead a few minutes if you don't care about the specifics. I'll try and pull out the parts that are more important. Break it down in simpler terms as well, if need be. The Pi Network Ventures was created for 3 core objectives. These are their goals. Boost Pi utility, so give it a little more utility via products, services, and customer experiences, allowing for businesses to integrate easily. Enabling more of the world's production onto Pi Network. So they're trying to get more real-world production processes, whether in the form of apps, transactions, or companies, onto Pi by investing early on the startup companies and create such processes. And they're trying to bring Pi to the real world by empowering real life use cases, applications. So they're just trying to encourage people to build apps and demonstrate unique value proposition as a widely distributed, accessible, and usable cryptocurrency. Cool. By aligning incentives, providing resources for high potential founders, startups, and companies, this initiative aims to create a feedback loop of innovation and adoption designed to benefit builders, businesses, and most importantly, the global community of pioneers. Yeah, they're going to throw a lot of money at a lot of different small ventures, and they're going to see what sticks. And some of these things will provide, that value back to the ecosystem. And a lot of them will likely fail, and that's okay. That's how businesses work. No stress. The Pi Network Ventures is part of Pi's diverse high-level strategies to boost utility and empower the Pi ecosystem. They have high investment and incubation working in parallel with grassroots and ecosystem movements. Nice. So they're trying to help out the little guy as well as support and work towards big things. While high signal investment and incubation typically target and support limited number of high-quality startups. Yeah, so they're saying it's usually very selective. They are allowing for a more grassroots movement, and they can leverage the existing community to generate large quantity of attempts for utility at scale. So yeah, they're saying they're going to just empower a whole bunch of small, groups or small businesses that are trying to build on Pi, and they're going to see what sticks. Pi employees both strategic. I might try and get into this for our company, for Kosha.lol. See if we can get NFTs or digital collectibles on Pi Network. Honestly, interesting. Pi Network Ventures belongs to the former strategy, while measures like hackathons to any other major platform at scale are building under the latter strategy. So building and providing smaller grassroots versus larger stuff. It also can be really tough with small grassroots, but you can have beautiful things come out of it as well. They're saying supporting builders from seed to scale. Do I really want to read over this for you guys? I guess you can skip ahead if you don't want to hear about this. Pi Network Ventures intends to invest in companies ranging from early stage startups to Series B ventures. So that means that they've already raised some money. So very early stage startups to Series B versus having at least 3 or 4 rounds of capital that they've raised already. So that's not what they're looking for. Looking for more or less smaller. I guess this is important information, honestly. No, they're looking for smaller grassroots people. This broad scope provides greater opportunity and access to potential innovators, as well as scaling and proven business, each of which provides more opportunity to enhance Pi's utility. Interesting. That'd be cool if we could get them for Kosha.lol, our website. Interesting. Pi Network Ventures differs from most crypto ecosystem programs in at least 2 key aspects. First, the blockchain native startups will certainly be part of the portfolio. Nice. Pi Network Capital Ventures investments will also focus heavily on general technology sectors, including generative AI and AI applications, fintech, embedded payments. Nice. That's what we'd be looking for on our website. E-commerce platforms, marketplaces, social networks, and real-world consumer and enterprise applications. Oh, this would be so cool if we could integrate into our website. This strategy resonates and derives from the second objective of Pi Network Ventures mentioned above. From a global e-commerce platform that accepts Pi to an AI-enabled service that leverages Pi for access or credits. What am I reading? Okay, so from e-commerce to AI to credits to traditional businesses integrating Pi into its loyalty program. They're hoping to drive all types of real-world adoption. Nice. Second, Pi Ventures investment processes are intended to mirror the practices of traditional Silicon Valley venture capital firms with respect to sourcing, selection, vetting processes, and more. Do they really know how Silicon Valley works? I guess they do, but it's all who you know. Anyways, designed to identify and support high impact and disruptive startups and businesses. I don't know. I'm not a big Silicon Valley bigwig. I shouldn't act like, I know, but that's what I hear. It's word on the street. Who you know versus what you know. That'll always get you farther in life. It's all good. Strategic benefits for pioneers. Pi Network Ventures was created with the pioneer community at its heart. Here's how the Pi Foundation believes it will benefit pioneers in the community. I'm not going to read into all of this. Obviously, I feel like they're just kind of repeating things. More utility for your Pi. Yes, you'll have more businesses that have been developed on Pi and using Pi Network, and more Web3 stuff. So boom, more utility. Stronger ecosystem. Nice, because we have more members that can do more things. Makes us stronger. Boom. Incentivizing high quality integrations. I wonder how they're going to do this. I'll actually read this. The Pi Foundation is focused on making investments in high potential startups and top tier businesses across sectors and geographies, including those that integrate Pi. This focus will in turn attract builders, increase scale, and expand the vision of the network. Ooh, this is kind of making me excited, actually. I might be able to integrate this into our website. If we could be one of the first people with digital collectibles on Pi, that would be fucking cool. While accelerating adoption in a strategic and sustainable way. Network effects in action. Okay, so same thing as having a large community. Here we go. Here's how companies will benefit. Here's what I'm thinking a little bit selfishly about. Companies that Pi Network Ventures may invest in could gain something incredibly rare in crypto and in traditional venture capital. The funds come with access to market, definitely, potentially addressing two of the essential components of startups commonly referenced in startup literature. Portfolio companies will have a chance to access a sizable, active, and KYC verified user base. That's massive, with tens of millions of users on the Pi network. That's massive. Across 200 plus countries and regions, with over 19 million of them already having their identity verified. 19 million people. Well, let's see what the largest countries are on Earth. Let's see where that ranks. I think it's like around the 70 mark. Largest countries on Earth by population. Go to Worldometer. I think India actually just beat China this year. I want to see where PI Coin ranks compared to the rest of the globe. Is this going to load? All right. First, I'm curious. India, China. Yeah, India's above China according to this. That's freaking crazy. I did hear about that a while ago. God, look at all these ads. I'm so sorry. All right, let's see where 20 million ranks, 19 million. So they'd be ranked if we were a country, we'd be ranked in the top 70 of all countries. Pretty sizable. Only growing, This global audience is not just an asset to the business, it can be competitive advantage. I would agree. It may enable network-driven growth, customer feedback loops, and unique tokenomic models that would not otherwise be possible, okay? Two more parts, and we're going to wrap up this article, and I'm going to take a look at X to see what X is saying about things. While the investments will generally be dominant, I can't even believe I just called it X. Oh, I did that. It's okay. Twitter. While the investments will generally be denominated in US dollar terms, Pi Network Ventures will seek to make the majority of investments directly in the form of Pi. Makes sense. This means that companies who join the ecosystem will be incentivized in the very currency they're helping to strengthen and grow. Nice. Aligned incentives. Note that Pi Network Ventures' investments are intended to provide both capital and strategic value over a broader time frame to those believed to be best positioned to create value in the world and help provide additional ways to use Pi worldwide. They're just reiterating they're trying to give money and value over a long time period to people who are also giving value. That's their goal. The Pi Foundation is not obligated to invest the entire 100 million. Ooh, stipulations. Based on the quality of applications and the number of startups accepted into the initiative, Pi Network Ventures may make investments over time and from time to time and may discontinue investing at any point in time. So they have up to 100 million. That's what they're saying. There's a turning point for the open network. The launch of the open network brought Pi into a new era. See, people keep saying, "Oh, you're in closed mainnet, closed network." No, they were not. Sorry, ranting over. Now, with Pi Network Ventures in place, the Pi Foundation can further focus on its mission to support and grow Pi's global utility by investing in startups and businesses, many of which build, integrate, and innovate with Pi. That will be us. And bring real utility to the network. Pi Network Ventures is laying the groundwork for a decentralized ecosystem that is globally accessible, community-driven, and economically meaningful. Let's build the future together, baby. Yeehaw! Let's see. This announcement is just the beginning. Entrepreneurs interested in talking with Pi Network Ventures can apply here. Ooh, juicy. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to leave this open for myself. Hopefully this isn't a wallet drainer. All right, I pulled it up. Doesn't look like a wallet drainer. It does not. Cool. All right, I'm going to do this for our own company. That'd be cool if we could add digital collectibles to Pi, be one of the first companies to do that. That would be really cool. Anyways, we're going to keep the ball rolling along here. Rolling on the river. Hey, I appreciate you guys liking the video. You're loud and clear. Thank you, Ronald. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you guys all. So just do a quick recap of the news I have gone over so far. If you are watching the live stream, also, I guess if you're not, then it's still good to get a recap just in case. We had so much news drop today. Besides the price, screw the price being down 24 hours. Who cares? We're long-term here. We're investors. I think personally it could keep heading down tomorrow. And then I think Wednesday will shoot up again. That's just what I'm thinking. I have no idea. Please don't trust me. I'm just some dude on YouTube giving you their 2 cents. But this is what I think. And these are the articles that I'm finding, and the news I think is important. We have, first and foremost, what am I doing? The central node apparently has been shut down. I haven't been able to verify all of this stuff. Some of it is on different X's that are registered or claimed to be registered to Pi authorities. So this one's from Pi Network Vietnamese. And they say that they are shutting down a central node, which is one step towards decentralization for everyone. They also are saying, that they are making the source code open source. So people can now easily vet the source code. They can check it out for themselves. They can build on it much easier now. And then there's also more bullish events coming out. Today is not when the homie was speaking. I don't know why I thought that, and a lot of other people were alluding to that. But we got some major announcements. I'm going to do a quick overview there. And then tomorrow we also have some more news. And then by May 15th, this was quote unquote the mysterious major ecosystem announcement. Now tomorrow we're getting something good / great. And then we're getting actually the speech, from the Grand Poobah himself, King Nicholas. And he was doing that in Toronto at this conference. He's going to be talking on May 16th. So we have 3 more days of bullish news. So the other thing that I just went over, in case if you missed it, in case a little TLDR for you, we got 100 million smackaroos. We got 100 million US dollars going towards investment, up to 100 million US dollars. They're not required to just give out $100 million. They're going to try and make some more, smart decisions, some educated guesses, and they're trying to build the ecosystem. Obviously, they're going to give it towards communities and businesses that are also going to help incentivize growth in return. Here is the application platform. You can also find it on the website. And now we're going to go get into X to wrap things up. That was most of the major news for the day. That was a lot. I'm just going to click around on X. Oh. I'm going to try to anyways. Let's go. Let's go here. I don't care if you guys see my background. I'm doxxed. I'm a founder in the space. All right, let's go to Pi Network. Let's see what's going on here. Any Pi. Pi. Now let's see what people's thoughts are. Here we go. They were talking about the $100 million initiative right on the Pi Core main page. Strategic programs trying to invest in high quality startups and companies across different sectors, driving innovation and ecosystem growth. Love to see that. Explosion of utilities incoming, such a strategic move for the ecosystem. I couldn't agree more, Woody. Couldn't agree more with you. I think that this is great. Alleviates a lot of the FUD too. Waiting for the Pi Network update. That was 7 hours ago. Time to buy Pi, according to this guy. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I think everybody is upset. Oh, here we go with the node system. Currently, community Twitter. I don't know. I'm assuming CT means community Twitter, but it might not. V20 smart contract will be updated soon. Nice. Oh, I'm gonna follow these guys. I like what they're into. This is cool. All right, cool. So I got some more stuff for the nodes, some node updates going on. Guys, it's happening. Pi Network wasn't built in a day. Nice. They got this person applied. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing, to be honest with you. I think I'm gonna go ahead. I don't know how much we gotta figure out how much money to apply for. But yeah, guys, let me know what you're thinking about the news, about the price, all that stuff. I know that it's down, the price is down today, but personally, like I said, if you saw my video earlier, my bad, this broke up into 2 separate videos. Not sure how that happened, but the first video is more technical analysis, overall market recap. If you did see that, then skip this. If you didn't see it yet, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of green in a row. I think on the daily, we needed a little reset, a red day. If you saw my old video, I was warning buy the rumor, sell the news. It happens a lot of the time. So, just something to be mindful of. We could still keep going down. We could go up tomorrow. Who knows? Just make sure that you have a plan for whatever you think is going to happen. For whatever your time frame, whatever your goals are investing wise. I personally think that we'll have probably another red day tomorrow, and then we'll have a green day when Nicholas actually comes out, and that will hopefully make us run. I think we'll probably could hover in this zone between 90 cents and $1.50 for a while, or if the news is good enough on Wednesday, we keep going past, what is this, $1.60? If we can make it past $1.69, we might hit close to all-time highs. And then I have a feeling we would kind of hover around like a $2.50 mark, maybe $1.50, maybe $2.50. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Major news. Nothing's been happening for like 2 weeks, and boom, got smacked in the freaking face. If you guys appreciate this type of content, if you want to encourage me doing these more often, let me know. I'm not just wasting my time here. Please throw a like on here, drop some comments, all that good stuff. The engagement really does go a long way. It's kind of crazy how these algorithms work, and I need all the help I can get because I'm I'm new to this whole streaming thing. I'm figuring it out. I can't even figure out how to turn on my camera and the freaking screen at the same time, but we're working on it. We'll get there. So if you guys want to follow the journey, make sure you guys subscribe. Of course, Max Engage if you want to support not just myself, but the Pi Coin community at large. Remember, none of this is financial advice. This has been Joe on Chain from New Money Crypto. We all know there's smart money, dumb money, old money. Years from now, they'll be calling you new money. Until then, I'm going to catch you guys on a video soon. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. Much love. Peace. Ooh, 5 people. Let's go in here. Yo, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.